Justice League Warworld is the newest DC animated film in the Tomorrowverse continuity, releasing everywhere on July 25th. Unfortunately, this film suffers due to pacing issues, confusing elements within the storyline, and the third act that is rushed and left me feeling confused. I'm Chainsaw Reacts. This is my review of Justice League Warworld. When it comes to reviewing DC animated films over the last couple years on this channel, I have been very honest. I've critiqued, I've praised, but I also at points have been lenient and forgiving on certain things. But I have to be honest here. This film had the opportunity to be really good and probably one of the better films within the Tomorrowverse. Unfortunately for me, it isn't. Obviously, I'm not going to get into spoilers here because that's not fair, but what I will say is that there is a lot of pacing problems within this movie. It is very apparent if you've seen any marketing or a trailer for this film that there is some timeline stuff going on. For example, Wonder Woman in the Wild Wild West in Western times, or Bruce Wayne, Batman, being in some sort of prehistoric type setting. It is intriguing, for sure, but this comes into the pacing problems where some of this just keeps going and going and going, and you're really confused on what's actually occurring within the plot. And this is where a lot of confusion also comes in as well. I'll just be honest, when the film opened up, I was like, okay, so what's going on here? And it took me at least probably around almost the halfway point of this film to start understanding what's actually happening here, or at least I had an understanding potentially of what's going on here. And I don't think that's a good thing. Maybe the intent was for us, the audience who are watching this film for the first time, to be confused along with what's happening in the film in terms of their confusion as well. However, there's a way to handle that and do that properly, or maybe there's a different way to approach it. I feel like the way they did it here, it doesn't really work for me. I mentioned earlier that this film had the potential to be really, really good because I feel like there is a version of the story they told here that could have made this film better, but the way they approached it, the way they were kind of handling it and pacing it, it doesn't work for me. I'm not sure if it's shortening certain things or completely reworking certain things. I'm not sure what the answer is. All I know is that the way the film is, I'm not really happy overall with the final product. Now, in terms of the actual characters within the film, I feel like they did a pretty decent job with some of them. Others, not so much. I'm not going to go into spoilers. All I'm going to say is the third act is the biggest problem, in my opinion, with the whole film. Yes, you get answers to questions you have while watching the film in the third act. However, they just rush past a lot of potential setup or things they could have done to improve overall your experience as you're going through the film for the first time. Because after you finish it, of course, you know everything pretty much if you rewatch the film again, but you understand what I'm trying to say here. It's that we get to the third act, we get answers, but it's just like all this stuff's just happening versus we could have organically been setting this up throughout the film versus just rushing past things or just omitting things because it doesn't matter. Just keep moving, keep moving. So we gotta get to the end to do this, do this, and do this, which is like, oh, okay. I wanted this film to be good because this is our first time, as we've been seeing in the marketing, this is our first time seeing the Trinity together. Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, within this new continuity, it's Tomorrowverse. This is our first time seeing all three of them together, and it just doesn't stick the landing. It's not even close. I'm not going to bash the creatives behind the scenes that made this film possible because they wanted to tell a different type of story. Clearly, in terms of how they handled this story, they wanted to tell something a little bit different. To me, it just doesn't work because we're all expecting a certain thing in terms of tone and just how they've been kind of setting up the Tomorrowverse. There's a certain expectation, and okay, it's definitely different. We're seeing this, and this with these characters. We're seeing these different things, as in terms of the marketing, the Wild West and the prehistoric times. We're seeing these different things, but it just, I don't blame people if they go in and they literally within the first 10-15 minutes go, I don't know if I want to continue this because I don't know what's going on. It's cool and all that we're seeing this character do this stuff, but what does it mean to the overall rest of the plot of the story? Like, because you open up and you're like, oh, we're here. And then you start questioning, well, why is this happening? What's going on here? Like, what does this mean? Like, how does this tie into this? See, like, there's ways to tell the story they wanted to tell here, but I think the way they did it here, it just doesn't, it doesn't work for me, and it seems people who've seen the film already, mostly they also agree with my opinion in terms of it's gonna be handled better. I really wish I could get into spoilers, but I can't. That's not fair. Because trust me, this video will be a lot longer. But all I will say is that it doesn't work for me. I don't plan on watching this film again. I really don't have any incentive to watch it again, because I don't think a second rewatch is going to make it better, in my opinion. I feel like it's just going to make me more annoyed, because they could have done this instead of that. They could have done this instead of that. And it's like, oh man, like they really just didn't. I don't know. Like, I don't know what the I don't know what I don't think there is a golden answer that could completely fix the things that I feel like that you know could be fixed to make World a better experience. So, but yeah, so it's okay for the most part. It has some decent action for sure, but the most important thing is your storylines, your plot, what you're actually trying to tell within the story. And there's just like a lot of question marks surrounding like what they were doing here, because what's coming, man, don't know why they did all this exactly. But anyways, so that's my review. I mean, look, I can't really because see, it's hard to talk about this movie without getting into spoilers. It's hard to, so I can't. So I'm not gonna do that. But give it a shot if you are interested. Just understand, at least in terms of how I saw it, that there is a lot of questions surrounding certain things, and it's going to take you a while to get to the answers. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm curious to know your thoughts. If you've seen the film already or your anticipation for it, let me know in the comments below, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Talk to you guys soon. Peace out.